Hey, what up, guys? All right, so as you know, in the last video, we spoke about masculine femininity, and we also talked about some problematic and toxic behavior within each group. Well, a friend of mine, Chi Chi, reached out to me recently, and he wanted me to speak on the same topic, but this time involving the conversation of Masc4Masc and masculine as well as feminine guys being mask attracted and feminine guys being looked down upon or feeling rejected or not as attracted to the community. So I thought this was a really great topic, and I wanted to share the excerpt of our conversation on my YouTube. And for the full YouTube, check down in the description. I'll have a link to the full YouTube video. All right, guys, let's dive in.
Classics.
Because I want to know, like, why is it so hard? Like, what's wrong with being femme? Like, can somebody explain to me what's wrong with being femme in the gay community? I want to know that. Like I said, I like masculine energy. You could be femme, but you can have masculine energy when I see you. You could be femme as well. You could dress like a boy. You could act like a boy, but you still could be femme. I just like the energy of being mass. Like that's why the masculine energy just really just like grinds my gears. But I want to know like what's the problem with being femme in the gay community? Like I don't fucking understand it. Is it possible for me to understand or not? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's up?
What's up, daughter?
So anyway, like I was saying, why is it a problem to be feminine in the gay community?
All right. Well, I don't think that's what you asked me the first time.
Yeah, but I just want to know, like hearing from like somebody that's masculine. I just want to hear from your perspective because everybody, like I said, I like masculine energy, but you don't have to be necessarily be masculine. You know what I'm saying? You can just give me a masculine energy.
Right. So if I'm answering this from the perspective of why are people attracted to masculine men or
Are you listen?
prefer?
What? Listen? No, no. Well, I want to know since you're masculine, do you seek masculine? What do you seek in the like when you searching? Do you seek mass? Are you one of
Um.
those guys that say, "Oh no, fat, no"?
No, I don't. I don't say no fat, no femmes. However,
Okay.
um, with me being the person um that works out
Mm-hmm.
5, 6 times a week,
Mm-hmm.
do I want someone fat? No.
Right.
And that's not just because of the effort I put, but that's because psychologically that effort must mean that I value having a certain body type enough that I will go to the gym 5, 6 days a week. So I want the same. But as it relates to which I mentioned to you before I got on here, as it relates to masculinity itself, I
Mm-hmm.
just feel that anyone who is attracted to men is attracted to masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, let's say, sure, you could have a woman who doesn't like masculine men. She might like somebody a little softer. You could have guys that like feminine men. But in typicality, masculinity is associated with being a man, and that is, the epitomes of what makes someone attractive to us. The same thing with femininity and sass on a woman is what makes them attractive. The Beyoncés, the Rihannas, they stand out for those abilities.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't think that it's one-sided where people only like masculine dudes. There are some guys that I might find attractive that won't touch me because I'm masculine, and they like something a little bit, a little softer, and that's okay. I've had to bite the bullet on that a few times, but
Okay, so I'm
so
glad that you said that because I want to see more of those men. Like just because when I look around, all you see is just Masc4Masc. You know what I'm saying? No fat, no films. No fat, no films. No fat, no films.
okay.
No
Now
fat, no
let me ask a
films.
question.
Hmm.
These men that are identifying as less than masculine themselves, are they themselves usually attracted to masculinity as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So is it really an issue of what people should be attracted to, or a thing of understanding that how you operate, how you exist in the world at your most comfortable isn't necessarily the standard of what is typically going to be people's first thing. However, that doesn't matter. It's not about the sum of what everybody likes. It's about what the people who like you like and how much they like it. So I
Hmm.
feel like people who are themselves and own that have their own power when they own it though. You can't be feminine and live in insecurity or in trauma where you see masculine men be attracted to masculine men, knowing damn well you attracted to masculine men, and then become butthurt over it. You have to accept that that is one of the standards of masculine of being a man is typically masculinity. Things that like making someone feel safe and all these different qualities, a provider, a
Fuck these
protector.
niggas.
So,
These niggas
and
ain't
let's be clear on one other thing. Masculinity and femininity are not, they're on a spectrum. It's not a straight line where this is what masculine is and this is what feminine is. I spoke about this the other day. You can have somebody who is very feminine in the way that their mannerisms are, but mentally they are very masculine in the way
Hmm.
that they are, because those same qualities of being a provider, protector, and making someone feel safe, a feminine guy can do that for somebody. But those are masculine qualities that
Like me.
outwardly portraying feminine guy carries. So I just think it's all a spectrum. I don't think
Yeah.
that it's wrong for anyone to be attracted and to outwardly acknowledge that they're attracted to masculinity. Um, do I think that anyone should be belittled or made to feel smaller? No. In the same way, where if we're talking about size, I wouldn't want to make a heavy person feel uncomfortable in me being honest. So I would choose my words a certain way and my tone a certain way and my approach. So I think that's all important.
So
And
David.
and let's be clear, I don't want to make a direct connection like I'm comparing being heavy with being feminine. I'm speaking just about from the perspective of someone who feels that what how they are as a person is being treated a certain way. So yeah,
So David.
yes.
So to sums it up, David is the guy. No fat, no films. But you can't. Yeah, but I get it. So I'm just like, like I just always wanted to know, like, like what's be so wrong because I always see no fat, no films, no fat, no films, no fat, no films. I'm like, well, girl, I know in the world of society they want everybody to be fit, but sometimes everybody can't be fit. You
But
know what I'm
but
saying?
but this is my only issue with the people. Okay, my only one, because I try to be very politically correct. But my only plight with the kids that identify as femme and get upset about these no fats, no femmes things is they are the people who uphold the toxic masculinity in the community, because they're the first people to spin their head around if I'm at somebody's house and I'm saying child or Miss Thing, because they just can't believe that this boy is over here talking like this. Yeah, they
Yeah.
can twist and backflip. So that's toxic in itself, and they're promoting me to stay in a toxically masculine place. They are reinforcing that masculinity supersedes anything else and is more attractive. And they are choosing men to play into their heteronormative ideas about having this balancing effect of a man with them. They don't want one another. It's you, oh, you cis, oh girl, Miss Thing, what you gonna do for me? What we gonna do? Bump pocketbooks? But then they want to talk about people being Masc4Masc. Y'all pick a side. you're saying that you don't want this because, girl, who the fuck want a little feminine boy? I want a man. But then you talking about you want somebody to accept you and want you. Your message is not being spoken clear because you're painting two messages. I'm coming out into this world as a masculine man and being taught by my feminine counterparts that my masculinity is supreme and other masculine men are more supreme, and femininity is, oh, child, girl, that little girl right there. So you create that tone yourselves as feminine men, teach it to a masculine man, and then are upset at the byproduct of that masculine man's, what he has is privilege, and that's what bothers them, because they teach this to these masculine men, but the masculine men are not bound by the same rules because they can blend. So now the anger comes because we all want this masculine man, but you can get him because you look like him, and I have a problem with that because y'all get to be safe in your little bubble and y'all block me out. So if we want this to change, if feminine guys say they want this to change, they have to change the tone of how they speak about their feminine identity when it comes to other people. Because it's one way when it's self-focused and they want someone to be empathetic toward them, and it's a totally different way when it applies to any other human being that they come across.
Messy Cho, y'all heard my motherfucking daddy, bitch. Because I don't give a fuck how I feel about me, because I always come through. That's why I be telling people sometimes you just gotta fuck it and just live, live
your life. Let me tell
live
you
and be
something.
you. Always
And am I a person that, like I said, regards masculinity? Yes. But does that mean I only date masculine men as far as standardly quote unquote masculine? No. My last relationship was with somebody that identifies as gender non-conforming, and taught me a lot of new ideas beyond my typical masculinity. So I don't believe in having a mental approach where you say no this, no that, because that's limiting. Like no blacks. So you don't know if there's one black man you can find attractive and smart and like, you don't know no whites. You ain't never seen one white boy that caught your eye. So I think things like that are limiting in how we can see the world. But to say you have preferences in things that you like, no one has the space to attack you or make you feel wrong for what interests you, because that's an honest thing. You can't change what you like. If that's the case, we all be married and happy, because you would have picked a little dick, nice guy with a good job and in school and was not toxic, okay? But at the end of the day, we have things that we like. So we have to move with that. So that's just all I got to say about it.
And my thing is, because I'm always telling people to always live in their truth, always be you, always just do what you need to do for you, because being always, called a fag, and being always, bitch, I always stood true in my shit. Like, bitch, I always stood 10 toes down in my shit. A bitch can make me feel no type of way about me, no masculine, no bitch that's finer. You have to be confident in yourself.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? And this is what I said Monday. This is what I was talking about on Motivational Monday. Most people not confident within themselves. And that's the confidence you have. You can't buy confidence. You can't go out there and buy self-esteem. Bitch, they have to come within yourself. So all the flaws that people make fun of you about, bitch, when I was younger, they made fun of me that I had a big nose. Bitch, I embraced that I had a big nose. Bitch, they made fun of me about this. They made fun of me about that. Bitch, I embraced my flaws that they seen, and bitch, I embraced it. So sometimes you have to embrace that shit and just live in it and just say, fuck a hoe.
I 100% agree.
I don't feel no type of way when I see no fat.
And let me tell you something. That in itself, Chi-Chi, is masculinity. That security in itself is its own form of masculinity. You do understand that, right? And that's an inherent form. Like, you smell that. You don't see it. You don't look at it. It's not tangible. But that is an effect that has on you. Someone being so secure in who they are. It's a very woman quality. And this isn't in a demeaning way, but to, is my makeup good? Do I look beautiful? And want reassurance and certain things like that. A man is supposed to feel secure, know himself, and whoever he is, own that in a way that makes it eloquent. And whenever someone does that, it automatically makes them attractive for whatever they represent. We have to remember we're all individuals. So when you start trying to group yourself and see yourself through a group image, you're going to feel like you're getting a short end of the stick. But be exactly who you are, and trust me, someone is going to regard the shit out of that. And don't make it about how many people when you walk in the room do it. Because if that's your focus, you're not going to be happy. Because if we can all agree that generally masculinity is in, amongst women, men, anyone who likes other men, then we can
Right.
say, well, this is where people gonna start. But that doesn't discredit my beauty or make me less beautiful. It makes me more rare. But if I treat myself as if I'm rare and worth something, I'll force other people to approach how they view me from that perspective. If I treat myself like I'm less than and I get angry about everything and it's always in resistance, never in my security, then I'm not
Go
truly
ahead.
showing someone
Because I
that
got to tell you
I value
something.
who I am. Go ahead.
And you know what that means? And I was talking about them. That's the ugly bitch. And that's what I was talking about last night. A ugly hoe. Every time you give her some type of positive thing, she's taking it and making it negative. That's the ugly ass hoe. And most people think that they're pretty, and most people think that they pussy good. No, bitch, you're ugly. You can have the best pussy, you could be the prettiest bitch, but you could be the ugliest
You can
bitch
be
deep
very
down
ugly.
inside.
Absolutely.
And just because you said
Absolutely.
that, that's what I talked about last night. I made a video last night talking about ugly people. There's people that's
But that
always
and
just so
ugliness
nasty.
comes from in any form. Ugliness tends to come from a lack of security. What
Hmm.
makes us ugly is the parts of us that we don't see in ourselves that we see in other people. You know, and that brings out anger in general. But self-acceptance and truly learning to value yourself based off of what your purpose is, who you are, then you get to see how perfect you are, the way you are, not in comparison to what anyone else deems the shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, I mean, I have my own experiences with that, and some people might roll their eyes at how I feel about some of my own. But you know, for me, weight is one of those types of things. You know, if
Yeah.
I view myself through the eyes of, oh, a man should be, you know, solid and big and whoopty whoopty whoop. Well, sure, I'm 6'1", but I have trouble staying above 180. I'm 175 right now, trying to get back to 180. And if I base my standard of being good enough on being like other people or the other bodied Instagram boys and what do they bodies look like, and then I won't be happy. But at the end of the
Mm.
day, if I say, okay, well, God ain't give me a thick body. He gave me this one. And I can make this the best I can make it and be happy with
Hello.
myself. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And be happy with myself and see myself positively through that image. Because there's so many times you'll look at somebody else and you'll be like, that girl's so beautiful. Why she don't get that she's, you know, you might think she is just gorgeous. And she like, if I just gain 20 pounds, I ain't thick enough. And you're like, girl, you're a model. So it's about seeing yourself perfectly based off of who you are, how you were created, not through anyone else's vision. When you master that, baby, you're going to be everybody's type. Because my
Hello.
little skinny ass is more everybody's type in my experience than any time before, but not because something physically changed, but just because my confidence in who I was changed. You get what I mean? My value in what
Mm-hmm.
I bring, not feeling like I would be better if I was bigger, because that's going to come across in how I treat myself and interaction. But good enough, just as is, says, baby, you got to give me 100 because I am 100.
Mm. That was a message, David.
For real.
People need to hear that. I don't know what's going on. I don't. They said they cut the video off on YouTube. I don't know what's. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Don't go nowhere. But yeah, I need you to come through and explain that too because I wanted to know because I don't really feel no type of way about. I just tell people you have to be. You have to believe in yourself and you have to stand true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can make you feel less than or above than.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Don't you ever, and the real wordness, don't you ever give someone the power.
That's what I said on Monday. And I
Yes.
said that you don't never give no one the power to ever make you feel some type of way. You could be the finest, you could be the baddest bitch.
And they
But by
will do
me,
it. And if you
but by
let them,
me, but by me being so confident and so ambitious about whatever I am, whatever I'm doing, bitch, they might not even pick you. They might pick me. You feel what I'm saying? So you always have to
absolutely.
stand tall, stand 10 toes down in what you believe in. Nobody might don't
Mm-hmm.
believe in it, but you have to believe in it. You have to
Absolutely.
believe
And
in it in
don't judge
yourself.
yourself. Don't judge who you are based off of someone else's value system. Okay, because if someone is counting based off of X, Y, and Z, and you saying, "Oh, I ain't got a chisel face, I ain't got this kind of a body, so I'm not baby, you might be one of the smartest, most brilliant human beings that has ever graced this earth, and you're basing your value system off of outwardly worldly things. You know what I
Period.
mean? So it's about really looking inward and saying, God didn't make me without. Okay, let me get that out
Mhm.
of my head. Let me start changing how I'm looking at myself from basing it on what everyone else is valuing. What is it about me that has the value? Personally, that's my only focus. Ain't about where no one else is good at anything in life. It's about where I am, and I have to own those things and master them to become my best version of me.
Message, ho. That was really good. I really needed you because I didn't know what. I mean, and the only reason I don't know, it's just like like I just wanted a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? I just always tell people to live in, like live in their truth and
Yeah.
always be them. But just to hear it from you, you know what I'm saying, on that end of the life, you know what I'm saying, is different.
And
It's
let me say, I just want to say one last thing to my fem guys who are on here and listening. I want to make something very clear. I am your brother, okay? A lot of times it becomes very easy for us to separate ourselves when these conversations come up, and all the fem guys, will just get so enraged, and the mass guys get enraged, and we are a family. And
mm,
whether anyone else understands it, I want to make it clear because I'm not afraid to touch on these mask fem conversations, and that can get people a little riled up. But I want to make it clear that I am not a masculine guy who stands in a place of privilege and speaks at you. I'm someone that will get out there and do the work. I'm someone that understands that my privilege allows me to walk around and be perceived a certain way, but we are the same. So if somebody is fucking with you and calling you faggot, that's my problem because they calling me faggot. They just don't know that they talking to me too. You understand? So I do think it is a responsibility of the community to work together in general and make each other feel supported. Um, I don't believe in bashing people for the way that they are in any respect. It's, especially femininity, because baby, I don't care what masculine man you're talking to, and a lot of them will take this to the grave, but every last one of us has an experience of feeling less than masculine in our upbringing. And me and Chi, we've had this conversation
yep.
separately.
You're
So
alive.
we all know the experience of feeling
Period.
like we're not accepted because we're not enough. So I would never in my adulthood now look and blend into my surroundings and act like we ain't the same. So I got y'all, but understand that everybody, you can't generalize masculine men and create these narratives about who we are any more than someone can't generalize feminine men and create a narrative. So I think that we all have to be more careful with that. I think it's easier, or it's more pushed for masculine men to be careful about what they say about feminine men, and it is forgotten that it should be just as much care and concern with how we speak about the opposite because we're all human sharing an experience.
Message, ho.
Yeah,
So, what are you doing right now?
nothing.
Okay, one more question. So, how do you feel about the people that's DL?
Um, I think we have to understand that being DL is kind of like an illness in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
um, and we have to be compassionate. I
Mm-hmm.
know it's easy for us to not be compassionate because how the men have, in some cases, maneuvered as it related to their gay counterparts, and the fact that their representative is always going to speak against us, even though we're the
Mm-hmm.
same. But it's understanding again. We've been there too. I don't care if you switched, look gay, until you said it. You thought you was convincing somebody. You know what I mean? And you hid in fear most people, maybe not every single person, but
Come
most
on, because I need
people,
to elaborate
yeah,
on that real quick.
yeah, but most people had some point in their life where they hid in fear of someone knowing their identity, and they can remember the feeling of butterflies and sickness that came over them when they thought that was coming up, even as a question from somebody. So when we approach men who are DL, we have to kind of be the bigger person because we are the more enlightened species who now understands who we are and what we were taught about ourselves that was lies. They still are working through that process. Like, T, we won't say his full name.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. He had that. He was DL. And through the course of me knowing him, there was a whole lot of explaining and teaching and understanding that was made that helped him move into his spaces. And by the end of it, he ended up coming out to the people that mattered, like his brothers and all of these people, hood niggas that he was with. And but that took time, him being ready, as well as having someone he could talk to get the understanding that he didn't understand. So,
Oh well, you answered
but
my
I
question.
don't
I was
agree
going to
with
ask you it.
I don't agree with the culture. If that's one thing you were asking as well,
Yeah,
I don't think
that's what
it's
I was
okay.
asking.
Nah, I don't think it's okay. I don't condone it. I would never deal with somebody who is dealing with the woman or something like that. I have and would deal with someone who's DL. However, that is dependent on where they are in their growth, because I think that as an out man, especially a masculine out man, it can be very detrimental and dangerous for me to dance with unsecure men, because they can send me backwards and send me into a space where I start to play a role in society versus being myself to make them comfortable. So they have to be comfortable with themselves. If you got a kid and you ain't figured out this situation, or you got some African or Haitian parents that'll disown you, I get it, and I've dealt with them. You know what I'm saying? But are you secure in yourself? When we at this restaurant, are you sweating while we standing in each other's eyes, or could you not give a fuck as long as your Haitian mama ain't in here? There's two different things.
And that's why I live for you, because I explained it to you, like on your live or whatever. Like being masculine is so different, and then always being getting your teeth clawed. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like,
Absolutely.
like it's just because like I won't say I always like get called a faggot or whatever, but like bitch, it's like girl, like here we go again,
Hmm.
here we go again, here we go again.
But
So
you
when I
know
was
what? It's so
younger,
funny to say that though. It's so funny because this is why conversations like this are healthy, because it's two sides of it. But go ahead. When you were younger.
like I always wanted to be a masculine gay. Like I always found men attractive, even before my molestation. Like I always felt like a guy was. I always like guys was always attractive to me. Like always. Like
Yeah.
so, and I was like, I never wanted to be, because I felt like my molester, he molested me because he seen the feminine in me. So that always wanted me to be the opposite of what somebody already
Yeah.
seen in me, for them to want me in that aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always wanted to be like a
Masculine.
boy and not always wanted to be called a faggot.
I find it interesting when you said how every time you go into a space, it's like somebody's clocking your tail, or however you said it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Clocking my teeth. Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go. Because you had went
Okay.
out for a second.
No, but you said, that's clocking your T. And I said, I find it interesting and funny, because the flip side to that is, for a masculine guy, someone doesn't clock our T, but they force us back in the closet every new experience we have with a person.
Mm.
So where once you as a person that you feel is clockable comes out and you becoming your truth, then every day you leave your house, you get to stay there. But for a masculine man, he's always being challenged over and over again to not have the courage to just say who he is. Because if I go to a new job and start there, the girl's gonna say I'm cute, me and the niggas gonna start being cool, and everyone's assuming I'm straight. You understand? So now that's a whole can of worms, because
Right.
this girl might like me, and I didn't make her like me. I wasn't flirting with her, but she might have just started liking me. And now to tell her my sexuality feels like I'm gonna have to let her down. It's like you're now. It's like incorporating other people's perceptions and feelings into it now every time, all over again. So we each, in truth, have our own challenges. Like, it's not totally easy for anybody, and our ways of getting to the middle are a little different because those challenges are so different, you know.
That's why I love you. I wish I could get Caleb, because I love Caleb, because Caleb could give you mask, and then Caleb could just be Kim, and then he could just be Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
And Caleb doesn't care. And that's why I love you. I always looked up to you and Caleb, because it's just like But you just being you, like nobody really like pays that any attention. You know what I'm saying? Like you just being you. And like no matter how much times I get called a faggot, it's just let me know like bitch, I'm doing what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing what I need to do in life because, you know, all my life that's what I've been called. And it never I mean, when I was younger, it used to make me feel some type of way, but when I got grown, like I don't really like I'm a whole different person than I was like years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like certain shit don't tick me off as it was years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like so like I just look at shit like, hey, it's a life. Sometimes I feel like I need to be called the faggot to reassure my realness.
You
feel me? For real. Sometimes I need to feel like, bitch, call me. Yeah, let me walk through the guy. Okay, you a part. Okay, bitch, I'm still real. I'm still okay. They still know the thing. You know what I'm saying? It just I try to look at everything as a laughter, as a joking moment. Even though majority of my life I can be serious, but most of the time I just try to get by with laughter.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just try to laugh and live and just learn. Because everything can't always be so fucking serious.
It cannot be. And everything can't be so serious that we can't talk about it.
Right.
Because that keeps it too serious. If you can't talk about shit, you don't really get anywhere. You can't get any understanding. So I really like to have conversations like this. And, you know,
yeah, and
I
didn't
applaud
watch
anybody in this conversation
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, in the comments, I haven't seen all of them, but that was able to, you know, listen to both sides and just kind of stay as neutral as possible to hear versus jumping to feelings, you know.
But I think that you always have to be neutral. And see, I'm always in neutral. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
But
I'm
this is why
never
we talk.
on, like, I'm always in the middle. Like, I try to see I understand your dialect, and I understand from me always being called a fag. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told you, like, my molester probably preyed on me because he's seen the feminine trait. So that always made me want it to be different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to be the one to be blend in, you know, like to blend in and gag the bitches like, oh, well, girl, you got him and say, well, girl, me too. Oh, for real? Yeah, I always wanted to be that type of person.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Absolutely.
It is what it is. I thank you so much. They really
You're
said
very
they really enjoyed your message. They said you did a really, really good job.
Thank you, guys.
And I've been trying to do this for the longest. It was just a spare of the moment. Today, Thursday, and he was free.
That's
Normally, I have to book David to do a key session, but you know, it was just a spare of the moment. Oh my God, are you choking?
Laughing.
Yeah, but thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
did you check on your girlfriend today?
I did.
Okay, because
I did.
yesterday it was too much, so I had to get away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. All right, Pops. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Enjoy the rest of your night, and yeah, see you later.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
All right, bye, y'all.
Hey, what up, guys? I hope you enjoyed the video you just watched. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, because everything you say, I need to see. I'm always in the comments. I'm always trying to get back to you guys as much as I can. And all your comments and all your love is appreciated. So, I'll catch you on the next video. Hey, what up, y'all? It's your friend King David, telling you to go check out my music, available on all, yes, I said all streaming platforms. Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, Deezer, the list goes on. And be sure when you go check it out to search my album, Inner Space, by King David.